You guys saw all of the most popular pictures from the attack on the Capitol building. You guys saw this, right? This is something that happened. It's the the Viking hat dude and the dude chilling out in Nancy Pelosi's office and what there's some other people as well. Yeah, zip tie guy. Just a bunch of random people who came to the Capitol. Who came to the Capitol to, storm the building and possibly, maybe, take Congress people hostage for not loving Trump hard enough, not having as much as a parasocial relationship with Trump as they would want them to. And they're starting to face some repercussions for their actions. Now, what could this possibly be? Well, for a lot of them, this means getting arrested. Latest, the U.S. Attorney's Office also arrested Jacob Anthony Chansley, also AKA Jake Angley. Saturday. This is him. So Viking dude, he got arrested. He's done. He's donezo. Also, the dude sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office, Richard Barnett, 60, of Arkansas. These people came from every single corner, they're just crawling like fucking like roaches from every single crack of the of this country. And you flip the lights on, they start scurrying like roaches. This guy as well. Doug, our good friend Doug. Look how badass he is. Look at Doug. Doug the Thug coming. He looks like an extra from 8 Mile in this one. All right, he's going strong, Doug. Ooh, baby. Oh no, poor baby. Yikes. Zip tie guy as well. Here he is. Here's him. This is. Just me and the boys watching Fox News with my revolver in my side holster and my American flag. Just normal human behavior. Very, very normal human behavior here. Zip tie guy arrested for the assault on the Capitol. Oh, look at him. Yikes. He's 30, taken into custody. But the thing is, right? The thing is, with lots of these people getting being taken in, this guy who stole Pelosi's podium, he got locked up. You know what he looks like? He looks like a body double for Miley Cyrus's dad. And this woman as well, Georgia woman, trampled to death in Capitol, was rioting. In Capitol riot, was obsessed with pro-Trump conspiracies. This woman was trampled to death while holding a "Don't Tread on Me" sign. If there is no more irony in this world than what has happened to these people who rioted the Capitol, and now every single conservative who wants to not get banned off of social media is all saying that they're all gay, communist, Antifa, femboy actors who are there to agitate from good Trump supporters, and and the people in the far reaches of the internet saying that they're good patriots who were now taken over by the cucked media establishment or some dumb shit like that. Who knows and who cares? Anyways, the big thing is that lots of these people are going to be taken in by the FBI, and that's great. That's cool. That's epic. I love that. The big problem is that the privilege that these people had to even believe that they had the opportunity to do something like this without being without any repercussions coming their way is something incredible. Coco the Feline, thank you so much for following, for joining the frenzy, and being so incredibly Pog. I appreciate you. These people ran in here. Remember what they were screaming when they ran into the building? This is our house. It's my house. It's the people's house. Where is it? Yeah, where's Lindsey Graham? Where are they? Just run in and think that you can just judo chop a congressman without any repercussions. Same with Lynn. They honestly thought that this is something that they wouldn't face any repercussions for. And nothing will tell you this any better than this dude crying in the airport about being put on a no-fly list.
I love every single one of you, but this is what they do to us. They kick me off the plane. They call me a fucking terrorist, and they want to fucking ruin my life.
Sir, please calm down. I was just Dr. Delta earlier.
I love every.
This dude's literally having a fit. He's having like a childlike. They kick me off the plane. what are you talking about, dude? You just stormed into a federal building to go try to kill a congressperson because Daddy Trump told you to on Fox News. What are you talking about? The obscene levels of privilege oozing out of these people is nothing but awe-inspiring. I wish I had this. I had the idea that I had this sort of privilege that I could. They can't. When will you learn? They can't keep getting away with it. When will you learn? What? I wish that I could do something like this and throw a temper tantrum about it when put on a no-flight list after being after literally engaging in basically something that's a failed terrorist attack. I wish I had that level of privilege. Can you imagine going around and doing that and thinking that you wouldn't be facing any sort of like crazy upheaval from it, like whatsoever? The thing is, these people thought that they could do this. Not only that, they thought that they would be facing no repercussions for it. They've been lied to so hard that they thought that this is something that you could just do and they could get away with it. And honestly, they basically did. The police officers took pictures with them. They led them around like sheep. The worst thing that one person got was getting shot after trying to jump through a window into the jump into a window that led to into a hallway that led to the House of Representatives floor. That's the worst that happened to some of these people. And even that escalation was something that happened like that would have happened to anybody else like 4, 5, 6 steps before you even get inside the building, right? They were fighting with police officers inside of the Capitol building. Not only were they doing that. Can I pull this picture up for you guys? This video? Where is this? Here. Not only were they doing that, it's outright disrespectful what they were doing. This guy is.
What strain is that? What strain of weed is that?
Yes, pinkberry.
They were literally smoking weed inside of the Capitol building, as hundreds of thousands of Americans are sitting in jail, especially minority Americans sitting in jail for nonviolent drug offenses. And this guy broke into the Capitol building, stormed the Capitol off of a conspiracy theory from Facebook to smoke weed inside of the building. Can you imagine having this, thinking that you have this much privilege? Amazing, right? Is weed legal in DC? Not on the federal not on like federal property. No. Since it's legal federally. Not like this. No, you can't do that. Yeah, not in public. Not only is this in public, this is inside of the United States Capitol, the building where they passed the law to say that weed is illegal federally. He's in there, and now it's great to say that they have the privilege that they think that they can do this, but now we have actual data to prove it. So here is this from the post-election trajectories for far right right-wing mobilization in the U.S. This is a really great study that they put together. Mind you, it's not peer researched just yet. This just came out. It's extremely recent. And I was able to read through most of it. But basically, the gist of this is, and I also implore you guys to look through this information yourself. It's very insightful. So basically, what they did is they took a bunch of like media research into. They did a bunch of media research and local news outlets, what they had to say about protests, when police use violence, when they didn't use violence, and they found out that the police are twice less likely to use violence against right-wing organizers than left-wing organizers. Stop the Steal rallies have twice as few left-wing violent interactions with the police than left-wing organizers do. Now, you would think, is this because left-wing organizers are far more likely to be violent? Well, actually, what they found out was no, that left-wing organizers were about as equal or less likely to be as violent as right-wing organizers, but the idea that police would use twice more violence against left-wing protesters says something. 80% of cops voted for Trump. They see their culture inside these right-wing protests, inside these right-wing riots even. So obviously they're going to be more partial to them. They are them. So what? So what does this come down to? It comes down to lots of right-wing protesters and right-wing rioters, right-wing agitators, thinking that they can do basically whatever they want with impunity. AFAF. Remember, all cops are friends when they broke into the Capitol building and started taking pictures with Capitol Police. Remember that? Where they didn't even start to use like tear gas against them until they started wandering around for long enough and they got kind of bored of it, and their superiors and the National Guard had to be called in from Pence to try and shut them down. They were just kind of like sitting there doing whatever, and some cops even let them in. Congress people even came through. Like a West Virginia congressman came through, gave his like literally doxed himself. He's like, "Woo! I'm a West Virginia congressman from this and that, and I live on this street, and I'm here to fight for my rights." You know, he literally just doxed himself, and thought that nothing was going to happen. And he recently resigned. They think that they can do this with impunity, and when the cops crack down on them, they think it's a betrayal. We saw this with the Proud Boy rioters in Portland, Oregon, like 2 weekends ago when we were talking to Dancing Spoons. We saw this happen. How they were carrying a Blue Lives Matter sign as they were literally picking fights and like assaulting people in the street. Like that woman that we saw who was being tortured and pepper sprayed because she wouldn't fight for Trump. They were doing that to people while carrying Blue Lives Matter signs, and the cops stopped them. And what they did is they put the Blue Lives Matter sign on the ground and they stepped on it. They were talking to the police like they're freaking like they just walked in on their wife having an affair with them, dude. Like they honestly thought that they were cheating on them. Like, how could you do this for me? We were fighting for you. We're the only ones fighting for you, and this is what you do to us. They're privileged. They think that they can do whatever. And the police have basically told them that they can. So, this gave them the opportunity to think that they can do these sorts of things, that they could storm the Capitol. Here in Kentucky, that they could storm the governor's mansion and hang and literally like make scarecrows of our governor and like hang them from oak trees in front of our legislator. That they can do things like try to kidnap Congress people. They can do things like in Michigan, try to kidnap the governor and hold her for treason or whatever. And then once something happens, once they get any sort of pushback, they sit there like, what happened? This wasn't supposed to happen, because it wasn't supposed to happen to them. They didn't think so. They thought the cops were on their side. They thought that the time for a revolution was now. They've been radicalized to the point where they think that they can do anything with impunity. And honestly, the cops have told them that they basically can. Until finally something had to happen where they get radical enough to where the cops have to step in and be like, okay, this can't happen anymore. And the slight amount of pushback that they get 1/10 the response that Black Lives Matter protesters do. Mind you, the National Guard was already set up when Black Lives Matter came to DC to protest in front of the Capitol building. They were all lined up in full military fatigues. They all had guns on them. They all had pepper spray on them. They all had pepper balls on them. They all had handcuffs and ready. They all made, in the Black Lives Matter protest that happened on the Capitol, they made almost 200 arrests. The day where right-wing agitators, terrorists, stormed the Capitol building to take hostages from for being radicalized online from Fox News and right-wing news sources and other dumb shit on the internet. They made less than 60 arrests. At the end of the day, it's true that they are privileged. They do get a pass by lots of the police. And any sort of pushback that they get, they think it's some sort of great uprising, and now they think that they're being targeted. It's not true. They've always been given a free pass in the entire time this country has existed. Right-wing violence has been seen as par for the course, and left-wing violence has been seen as something that's way more foreign and terroristic or whatever. I don't condone any violence, but if you're going to crack down on violence, why not do it evenly? It's because the cops, they're in on it. It's a big club, and you're not in it.